it's Jennifer Nichole, and today's video is extremely exciting, not just because of this palette, but it is also a collab with my friend Amy. Her channel is Dolly Mama Beauty, and I will link her channel below, and you can watch her video as well. Okay, so first I'm going to start with this brow bone color, and I will mostly be focusing all on this bottom row of shades, just so you know. Use it to prime my whole eye. I already put concealer on to prime my lid, so I'm just going to go straight in with that cream shade and just put it all over my lid so that the shadows will blend smoothly together. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this eye. Okay, so now I have both of my eyelids primed with the shadow. Next, I'm going to be going into the crease with this transition shade, and this is a little bit of a warmer brown, and I'm going to be taking that and placing it right in my crease. I'm just going to be using this same brush. I like to start with this brush because it is a little bit more tapered, and so it gives a little bit more of a precise look, and then I'll blend it out with a fluffier brush. And then for this eye look, I'm really going for an round eye shape, so instead of just pulling it out how I normally would, I'm going to really focus taking the shadow up a little bit higher and just going like in windshield wiper motions back and forth and making a really round eye effect. And it's okay if it's a little choppy at first, we'll blend everything in. So I like to just switch back and forth between eyes, that way I can make sure that they're looking even as I continue. Now the one thing I love about this palette is I feel like the perfect amount of pigmentation, because it's a little less pigmented than some other palettes that I've used, like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, which I love, but because this one is slightly less pigmented, you can go in with a really heavy hand and it just looks stunning. I mean, you can really make a really light look with it or something more dramatic just by building it up, and it does layer up really nicely. So I feel like it's just the perfect amount of pigmentation for that reason, because I feel like with the Anastasia, if I'm going for a more lighter look, it's a lot harder to achieve because it just, the first time you lay the shadows down, they are so pigmented that sometimes it can just be a little bit too much, especially with those pink shades. Sometimes I just don't like it, but I feel like this is just perfect. It's much more pigmented than most drugstore eyeshadow palettes, but it's also like I said, just really buildable and beautiful. I'm going to go back in with that brow bone color on just more of a blending brush, and I'm going to blend those two shades together. We really want it to be smooth and seamless. Okay, so now that I've kind of gone back and forth and built that color up, I'm going to continue on, and then I may add some more color, but I just want to kind of see how the eye look is progressing, and then if I need more shadows or more depth, I'll add more. So next we're going to go in with this really deep shade. And I am just going to apply that on a flat brush to the outer and inner part of my lid. So because I am keeping this as a really round look, I'm only applying the shadows on the outer V and the inner V and really keeping the middle bright in order to just really make my eyes look round and large. Eyeshadow is really fun because you can make your eyes look bigger, you can make them look smaller, you can make them look rounder or more, almond shaped. There's just so many things you can do just by the shadows that you apply. And then as you can see, I'm just lightly dragging it across in my crease and really just keeping this very center part of my lid without any eyeshadow. I love this palette. I knew that I would enjoy it, but I feel like I've enjoyed it even more than I thought I would. It is just so stunning, and the difference in colors and like all the beautiful things she has going on is just gorgeous. I think there's so many beautiful looks you can do with this palette. I love that with each row, you can make your own like one look, or you can just mix all different shadows from all the rows and make just a completely different look. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this really deep shadow here, the really deep highlight, excuse me, and I'm just going to apply that on that highlighted spot. This is just such a gorgeous copper shade. I just think it is absolutely stunning. So I'm putting that right where I left my shadow blank and then dragging it off into that deep shade so that later we can slowly transition the shades together. And I'm really taking it all the way up to my lid. The whole lid, I really want to just press that all the way up so that it sits right against the crease. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with this flat stippling brush, and I'm going to take that dark shadow and I'm just going to buff it in to my crease and into that copper shadow. And then once again, just slowly building up all the shadows. Okay, so now that I have the top done, I'm going to pause for a second and just like even out this shadow that I have going on a little bit. So first, I'm going to kind of repeat a lot of the same steps on the bottom. So first, I'm going to start with this crease shade, this transition shade, and just take that at the bottom underneath my lashes and kind of smudging it out, making this a little bit of a grungy look and just following it up. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with that deep chocolate shade and just apply that just on the outer edge of my eyeshadow. And then I'm going to go in and I'm just going to really buff that in a little bit so that it's a little bit of a softer line and not so harsh. So I'm going to go in with that brow bone color to just kind of smooth that out a little bit. So we're going to take a combination of this highlight and this gold color, and we're going to pop that on my lid. So again, I'm going to be taking my finger and just applying that right in the center and in underneath my eye. Okay, so I am just going to take a little bit of setting spray and I am just going to apply that on my brush and then apply that gold shimmer right into the center of my lid. And then just in my tear duct. Okay, now to give an extremely spotlighted effect, I'm going to be going in with this white highlighter right here and just applying the smallest amount to the center of my lids. I love this highlighter because it looks like your eyes are wet and it just gives it a beautiful effect. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with that gold shade and just blend it out. Okay, so I am just going to put on some mascara and lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, so just because I rarely wear false lashes, I just wanted to show you what this looks like with just mascara. So I just wanted to demonstrate that you can definitely wear this look without false lashes. Okay, so now that the lashes are on, I'm going to be going in with that white highlighting shade and highlighting the inner corners, just to brighten it up because this eye look is fairly dark. I really want to add a little bit of light to my skin. Okay, and now that my eyes are completely done, like I said, you can wear lashes or not wear lashes. I just decided to apply them today for a little bit more of a dramatic look. I'm going to go in and I'm going to highlight my face. And first, I'm going to be using this light, pure gold shade, and I'm just going to be applying that right on my cheekbones. And that just adds a nice sheen to my face. Now I'm going to be going in with that white highlighter and just tapping a tiny bit on and really just lightening up, giving a really strong, bold highlight. Now, just for fun, because I actually really love this shade, I did this look the other day and I applied this little bit of a lavender highlight. I'm going to do the same thing just because I really think it's just a fun highlight and it really brightens up the whole look. And like I said, this is definitely more of a dramatic highlight. You can just go with something a little bit more subtle, but I just think this gives a beautiful glow to the face. So now for my nose, I'm going to take that same lavender shade and just put it on my nose and my Cupid's bow. Okay, so this is the final look using the beautiful Carli Bybel palette. And like I said, this was a collab with Amy, and please check her channel out below. And if you're coming from Amy's channel, thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe. I appreciate every subscriber, and I really, I make 3 videos a week, so I would love to have you join me as well as Amy. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.